All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds. Got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds so that everything can sync up because I know sometimes when I start talking too soon, it doesn't catch my beginning of what I'm saying. So we got a lot to talk about today. We got the NBA trade deadline that just happened. A lot of trades happened. We got the Super Bowl just happened. We're gonna touch on that a little bit. We got Tank versus Ryan still floating in the air. Haven't had nothing announced, but I feel that it is gonna come very soon. And we did have something just happen at the UFC, in the whole UFC world. I don't really follow UFC too much, but I do keep my ear to the streets, and I did hear something crazy just happened. So again, this is GQ's point of view, episode 3. This is the Wednesday weigh-in edition, where I will be weighing in on any of the hot topics that's going on in the sports world. Um, so again, I'm seeing stuff is kind of popping up right now. I'm seeing things are kind of sinking in. I think I'm just now being heard. So I'm gonna talk about the topics again. We got the NBA trade deadline that just passed. We have we got the Tank versus Ryan still floating in the air that we got to discuss a little bit. We got the Super Bowl that just happened, and we did have a big UFC fight that just happened, and something controversial going on over there. Um, so first things first. Again, this is the GQ's Point of View podcast, episode 3. This is the Wednesday weigh-ins edition, where I will be weighing in on any of the hot topics that's going on in the sports world. Um, and today we got a lot to discuss. I will be trying to squeeze it in. I had to go to work in 20 minutes, so I will be trying to squeeze it in a 20, 30-minute span. If you're new, like, comment, share, subscribe. Uh, Showing your support is free. So, any love that you do show is much appreciated. Adriel, I see you in the chat. What's up, man? Appreciate you for stopping by. You always the first one to stop by. Uh, that is very appreciated. I love you, man. So go ahead and get into this. So what we're going to touch on first, let's go ahead and touch on the Super Bowl first. So the Super Bowl just passed. I did take the day off and watched it a little bit. I saw that the Eagles, for the most part, they were ahead. Let me see. Saw for the most part that the Eagles were ahead. Um, so I was kind of surprised when it came down to it. I looked up, I kind of looked away from the screen at halftime. I think it was only up maybe one touchdown, maybe one field goal. So, I kind of looked away. I thought, the Eagles was going to run away with it. Honestly, I like when the Chiefs win because they are in our division. I'm a Denver Bronco fan. I'm from Colorado. So I always felt like if the team from your division won the Super Bowl, then that kind of just makes you look a little better. Now I know we was trashed last year, but so it doesn't really mean much for us. But at the same time, it is what it is. So, anyways, the Eagles were ahead the whole game. They had control, and they was in the driver's seat. And all of a sudden, in the last little 4 minutes, I look up. There's 4 minutes in the game left. Mahomes and the Chiefs have the ball, and they drive it downfield. And right at the end, I think like it wouldn't have been such an easy field goal, but right at the end they got a penalty, and it made it pretty much just game over. Um, so with that being said, man, the Eagles choked away the Super Bowl, but they did just win one not too long ago, which it is what it is. And the Chiefs ended up coming out on top. So now, now that Mahomes, he has been in the league for 6 years. Really only 5 years because he played one game that first year. So he's really been in the league for 5 years. He's been playing for 5 years. He's been having a starting role for 5 years, and he's already been to 3 Super Bowls and has 2 rings. So he's 2-1 in the Super Bowl. The only person he lost to was Tom Brady. Um, and right now he has an 11-3 playoff record. That's crazy. After being in the league for 5 years, he has an 11-3 playoff record. That is crazy. So we looking at a GOAT situation right now. If you didn't know, Tom Brady just did re-announce his retirement. And he set off into the sunset. I think he got what did he get? He got 6 rings. 6 rings, I'm pretty sure he got 6 rings. Been to the Super Bowl 10 times. So they are a lot of people are trying to say they're setting up Mahomes to be the next GOAT. But I don't think he's they're setting him up to be that. I think he's just playing himself into that conversation. So let me know what you think down there. One more football topic is I am a Denver Bronco fans again. And the Broncos just signed Sean Payton as our head coach. So I know last year was a disaster for us having Russell Wilson take the quarterback position. I thought we was gonna look a lot better. We looked terrible. So I don't know if it's Russell Wilson. I don't know if it was the coach. I don't know, but hopefully getting a new face in that front office will help us uh, bring our record back together. Um, so on top of that, man, we do have let's see in the Chiefs in the West or the what is it, the NFC, the AFC. So we got Patrick Mahomes over there. We got Josh Allen. We got Smoking Joe Burrow. We got Lamar Jackson for right now. We don't know if he's going to stay with the Ravens. I'm hearing whispers. I'm hearing talks that he might go over to the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins probably have the best quarterback besides Jalen. What is his name? Jalen Hurts. In on that side of the division. On that conference, whatever. So I don't know Tua, but he did have a couple of concussions last year, so I don't even know if he's gonna be able to play. But if he can't, Lamar Jackson might look good in that Dolphins uniform. So for right now, we're loaded over here with talent in the quarterback position. You know what I mean on our side of the ball. But anyways, let's go ahead hit to the next topic. Um, Let me see. Okay, so this past week, we had the trade NBA trade deadline that just happened, and we had a lot of stuff moving on. We will get to the big elephant in the room in a second, but for right now, we're gonna talk about the Russ to the Jazz trade. Now, the Lakers have been having a problem with Russell Westbrook being our point guard. And when I say "our," my fault. I'm a LeBron fan, so I do kind of convince myself that I am a part of the Lakers. But at the same time, I'm a Denver Nuggets fan first and foremost. You feel me? I'm a city kid. I'm from the Mile High. Um, but anyway, so we're gonna talk about that Russ trade. He got traded to the Jazz, and for him, the Lakers ended up getting. Let's see, we got. Oh, they traded Russ to the Jazz, and they also traded Juan Toscano Anderson, which he was trash. He was completely terrible. So I'm glad that he's gone. They also traded. They also got Damian Jones. I think they got him from the Wolves or something, or maybe from. Yeah, they had to get him from the Wolves. And they got LA's first one of their first round picks. Um, and then Mike Conley within that 3-team deal. Mike Conley went to the Wolves. Now I know the Wolves they need a solid point guard, pure point guard that could kind of set up, that could be a leader in the locker room. So hopefully Mike Conley can do his part out there in Minnesota. But the Lakers, they were the winners of this trade. They ended up getting D'Angelo Russell. They ended up getting Malik Beasley, who is a spot up shooter, knockdown shooter. I don't like D'Angelo Russell that much, but this year he has been doing well with his shot selection, and he's just been playing very well. But another big piece that we got is Jared Vanderbilt, and I know a lot of people probably don't know him, but he is a solid big man. I think he plays the 5 position, so it will ease up some of that pressure off of Anthony Davis, because he don't like to bang down low with them big men. Um, so it'll give him, and I know when I'm at work, I don't get a chance to really watch the game too much, but I listen to it. And I remember when the Utah Jazz, when they were playing the Denver Nuggets, and when they played the Lakers, I remember I just kept hearing Vanderbilt with the rebound, Vanderbilt with the rebound. And Vanderbilt was just killing both teams on the offensive glass. Um, so Jared Vanderbilt, that's going to be a big piece. Now, again, we ain't gonna get to the Kyrie and KD yet. So now I don't know if you guys know, but John Wall was traded back to Houston. So he's been traded back and forth. Him and Russ, they kind of been in a little triangle. You know what I mean? They keep getting traded for each other. So, anyways, John Wall ended up getting traded back to Houston with Danny Green, and I think all of them are gonna get bought out. There's talks where Danny Green is supposed to go to I think the Cavs now. But Danny Green is pretty much over. But some big pieces that were moved was Luke Kennard. So Luke Kennard from the Clippers, that's a very good piece. He ended up getting traded to the Grizzlies. This a three team deal. So Luke Kennard got traded to the Grizzlies. He's gonna get him some depth. You know what I mean? Some depth. So that'll help them out a lot. And then the Clippers ended up picking up Eric Gordon and 3 second-round picks for that Luke Kennard trade. That's crazy. 3 second-round picks. They already have a deep squad. So that's kind of crazy. But Eric Gordon, a lot of people are saying that's a good pickup. I think Eric Gordon to me he's pretty much just like a John Wall. So I don't know what they're really expecting from that to really happen. But it is what it is. Now, a trade a trade that I do not appreciate, that I hate, that had to happen, was Bones Highland getting traded from the Denver Nuggets. I really hate this trade because I enjoyed his presence on the bench. Now, I haven't really enjoyed being a Denver Nuggets fan because I feel like their front office has always had some kind of I don't know. They don't know how to manage hood players. Players that have like that hood persona. And this goes back to when Denver Nuggets had Carmelo Anthony and we had the whole, we had like a thug team. You feel me? But then we added Allen Iverson. I hated when they didn't. I felt like they didn't treat Allen Iverson with the utmost respect and re-signing him. And we did well with him that year. So I was so upset with that I almost fell off the Denver bandwagon. You feel me? And I'm not a bandwagon because it's my home team. But I almost started to despise the Denver Nuggets a little bit. You know what I mean? But we have put together a strong team. We have a deep team now. We got KCP. We got Aaron Gordon. We got we still got Jamal Murray, who's starting to look more and more like himself. He hasn't played these past few weeks, so I don't know what's going on with that. But we also got Bruce Brown, Bruce Bowen or whatever, you know what I mean? Of course, we got Jokic. And then I'm going to talk about another person we just picked up just recently. But Bones Highland, I loved him coming off the bench. He was such just a spark, an energy spark. As soon as he came on, he's almost like a Jamal Crawford type of build. But he used to, he was averaging about 12.3 points, 12.7, something like that, and he was only playing 11 minutes a game. So I'm so upset that we ended up getting rid of him. I know that there was something behind the scenes that was going on. He was getting into it with the coach, just about playing time and about all that. So I know we had to part ways with him. But the thing I do not understand is why would you give him to our competition? When we make the playoffs, we're probably going to have to see the LA Clippers at some point. Why would you give him to the Clippers? You should have traded him somewhere. You could have traded him to the Hawks. You could have traded him to the Bulls or something. Why would you trade him to the Clippers? That makes no sense at all in my mind. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I guess we got to part our ways. We just got to accept it. But the Nuggets traded him for 2 second-round picks. Come on, man. Like, I'm telling you, this is like a Jamal Murray. He was a candidate for 6th man of the year throughout half the season. Now, I know we got Christian Brown, and we do have another player, that kind of backs up Jamal Murray. But I just don't understand why we would trade for that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. We just got to part ways. We got 2 second-round picks for him. And then we turned around, you know what I mean? So that was that trade. So then we turned around and we picked up Thomas Bryant from LA, which Thomas Bryant, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm following this Lakers their whole season. You know what I mean? I watched them a lot, like somebody's always analyzing and they're streaming, they're kind of commentating on all the LA games. So Thomas Bryant, if you didn't know, if you haven't heard, he's like a walking double-double. So we ended up picking him up from LA. I guess he was disgruntled in LA because he wasn't getting enough playing time or something. I don't know. There's something going on in LA. We're going to get to that in a minute. But Thomas Bryant ended up getting traded to Denver, which that's a solid pickup. He's coming in. He's a backup. That's why I didn't understand when he was complaining about he was complaining about playing time, but he's going to come play for Denver for like for more playing time behind Jokic. That doesn't make sense to me. But he will be a solid backup for Jokic. Now within this little three team trade, Thomas Bryant went to Denver. LA got 3 second-round picks, who they ended up turning into. One of them we ended up getting Mo Bamba. So we traded Patrick Beverly to Orlando, and with Patrick Beverly we sent some cash, whatever, and we ended up getting Mo Bamba and Davon Reed. I don't really know who Davon Reed is. My fault for not checking in on that. But Mo Bamba, I believe he's a solid pickup. I haven't really followed him too much, but I do think that he will be solid for them, down there, banging down low with AD. I think he could stretch the floor a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. You know what I mean? LA been struggling this year. So, we're going to see what that turns into. Now, another thing that happened out west, GP2, Gary Payton II, he went back to Golden State, which I don't understand why they didn't sign him in the first place. But they ended up trading James Wiseman, which they needed to get rid of him. But they ended up trading him to Detroit in a multi-team deal. I think it was a 4-team deal. And I think they picked up Sadiq Bey and Gary Payton II, which that's gonna help them on defense. You know what I mean? Gary Payton, they did that. It was kind of a risky trade because he was injured and they didn't even disclose that. So it was up in the air on whether it was going to be finalized, but it has been finally finalized. So GPT, welcome back to Golden State. Now, another pickup that the Clippers made. Clippers made a lot of noise this trade deadline. They ended up trading Reggie Jackson to Charlotte, which I thought Reggie Jackson was a solid point guard. But they got Bones Highland and they got Eric Gordon. So why would you need Reggie Jackson? I'm telling you, Bones Highland is probably going to start for the Clippers, and he's going to bite Denver in the ass. And I hate that we traded him to the Clippers. That does not make no sense. Before we go on, if you in the chat, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe if you're new. And any love that you do spread is much appreciated, and I appreciate you even for stopping by and just listening to this podcast. Thank you. So anyway, they traded Reggie Jackson to Charlotte, and they picked up Mason Plumlee. Now Mason Plumlee, that's a big ass white boy. That motherfucker gets boards and he can defend down low. So that will be a great pickup for the Clippers. The Clippers are deep. Now I don't know how far. They're only going to be taken as far as Kawhi and Paul George could take them. And, from recent history, that hasn't been very far. So we'll see if they could get their stuff together. They've been load managing for the past 4 years. I don't see how they can't get it together. But it is what it is. A smaller pickup, smaller trade. Mike Muscala went to Boston. That was a solid pickup for them. He could stretch the floor as a center, come in for Al Horford. I don't know if he's a 4 or center. A 4 or 5, but he come in for Al Horford, and he could efficiently spread the floor for them. So another pickup another trade that happened was Josh Hart got sent to the Knicks. Okay, so Josh Hart went to the Knicks, and the Knicks ended up trading Cam Reddish and plus 2 other players. I don't know who the other 2 other players were, but Cam Reddish. Now I don't know if you guys know who Cam Reddish is, but that boy can ball. So Portland picked him up. Portland got a lot of young pieces over there. I don't know what they're doing with Dame. Dame need to just come up out of Portland. Everybody's been saying that for years, so we're going to see what happens with that. But they do got Cam Reddish. That's a solid young player, and he does have a lot of potential. Now, to the biggest elephants in the room, to the Nets. Let's go over to the Nets. Let's go over to Brooklyn and see where Brooklyn at. See what they did. So, first off, they traded Kyrie to the Mavs. Now, they was hating on Kyrie. Josiah is I don't want to say too much on here because I don't want to get flagged and I don't want to not be able to, get some viewers on my channel or whatever. But Josiah is a hater. He's a certified hater. He did not want to trade Kyrie to the Lakers because he didn't want to do him a favor. So he ended up trading him and Markieff Morris to the Mavs. And in return, they got Spencer Dinwiddie. They got DFS, that's Dorian Finney-Smith, who is those are both 2 solid pickups. I can't lie. And then they got They got one second round pick and one first round. They got 2 second round picks and one first round pick. So they did kind of get a good little haul over there in Brooklyn. Um, but then they ended up trading Kyrie to the Mavs. We'll see how Kyrie. I think we talked about this last week, so we ain't gonna get into it too much. But we'll see how Kyrie and Luca can fit in with each other. I don't think that they'll fit. They play no defense together, so with having them on both sides of the ball, they will have a lot of offense, but they're both ball dominant too. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but I know Luca does play a little bit like LeBron. So maybe it can work out. You know what I mean? But they only got half a season. So even if it doesn't work out, you know what I mean? I'm hearing rumors that Kyrie will do a signing trade and he'll go over there to Phoenix. Now this is the one thing that I do not like. KD got traded to the Suns. Let that breathe. KD really got traded to the Suns. And he got traded for Cam Johnson, Michael Bridges, and Jay Crowder for 4 first round picks. Now, let's say this. Okay. Cam Johnson and Michael Bridges were two solid pickups. Very, very solid. Plus the 4 first round picks. That's a good ass haul for KD. But at the same time, they didn't take none of their superstars. And look, with that being said, Michael Bridges, he came second in Defensive Player of the Year last year. So that's a very solid pickup. He has a lot of potential. So we'll see how that all that turns out. But they traded KD to the Suns. Now the Suns have Chris Paul, KD, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. That's 4 All-Stars right there. Come on, bro. Why does KD always get to go to the best of the best situations? I don't understand that. Now, with that being said, I'm not completely shut out on the league like when he went to the Golden State Warriors, but because like they do have a lot of health issues over there. KD is dealing with an MCL sprain right now. I know Chris Paul and Devin Booker, they've been in and out of the lineup, this past year with injuries. So, I mean, this could turn out very well, or this could turn out to be a bust. Now, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. KD does have a lot of pressure on him this year because if he doesn't get it done this year and next year, if he don't get no ring in Phoenix, oh my God, he is one of the biggest busts, one of the biggest choke artists in NBA history because they gave it to him on a platter. Now, Denver, like I said, I am from Denver. Denver has a very good chance of winning it this year. You know what I mean? We have the deepest team. We have a solid team in all areas. Big men, uh, point guards, shooting guards, wings. We got Aaron Gordon, who was leading the league in dunks this year. I don't know how he's doing this year, but we'll see. Now he was a snub for the All Star game, but it is what it is. Now, just quickly before we get into the next one, man, do not forget to leave. Oh man, it's not working. Okay, let's go back here. All right, before we get started on to the next topic, man, do not forget to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're new, any love that you do show is much appreciated. It will help my channel grow. So yeah, with that being said, um, we are going to go into this Tank versus Ryan shenanigan that's going on. Now, they're supposed to be setting up this fight, and I believe that it is coming up. I believe that the announcement will be made pretty soon. But right now, when we was at the Super Bowl, we saw Tank was rolling around in a wheelchair, and everybody was kind of scared, holding their breath like, damn, I think he hurt himself, and they're not going to be able to make the fight. But that's not what happened. Tank ended up being in a wheelchair, and there's a lot of whispers going around saying that he was just in a wheelchair because he was intoxicated and he did not want people to know that he's not focused or whatever, whatever. You're at the Super Bowl, have your fun. But they just said that, the security guards didn't want him talking to nobody. They didn't want to have to break up, like move people out the way. So they put him in a wheelchair and they just pushed him through the crowd so that it would be easier for him to get through the crowd. So this Tank versus Ryan fight, I'm still hopeful. I'm still pretty confident that it's going to happen and that it will be announced. To go along with this boxing category though, Undisputed. I don't know if you guys have played Undisputed recently, but it is that new boxing game that just came out, first one in years, decades almost to come out. And it is an amazing game. I can't lie. Undisputed it is amazing. I didn't like it at first. It felt kind of laggy, whatever. But they're getting it together. You know what I mean? The only thing I do not like is for some reason they patched a lot of players. So now it's like I used to use Roy Jones Jr. and now it's like I don't know. He just leaves himself open all the time, and his body defense is fucking terrible. And I also used to use Tyson Fury. So when I first was playing with them two only, and I think Sugar Ray Robinson, man, I went like 64-12 or something. Now in these past like 2-3 days, this past week, my record is probably like 3-7 or something. Like so, I don't get it. Like they patch these players. They don't come up with patch notes, so it's like you kind of just you living and learning. I do like that they making every fighter. They're making it possible to where you can win with any fighter. You know what I mean? I do like that because I hate using the same fighter. I hate going against the same fighters. So it's fun. And maybe it might work out. But again, on to the last topic. Now, UFC, I don't know which one it was. UFC 298. I don't know. One of them just happened, though. And Islam Makachev ended up fighting Alex Volkanovski or whatever. Now, this got brought up to my attention from somebody in my chat. They ended up telling me what happened. So Islam ended up beating Alex Volkanovski, and I looked it up, and they said it wasn't no robbery. He ended up beating him a solid, like by a solid like 3-4 rounds or whatever. It wasn't too bad, wasn't a blowout or nothing like that. But anyway, Islam won the fight, but Alex is still ranked above him in pound for pound, which is very controversial because usually the winner, if two people are fighting and they're both at the top of the pound for pound list, usually when somebody ends up beating them, they will overcome them. They will be on top of them in the pound for pound list. But I think what helped happen right here, which kind of makes sense, is that look, Alex, he was the smaller fighter. So Alex Volkanovski, I think he's still number one pound for pound right now. He's the one that ended up losing. So what happened here is that he was on the 12-fight win streak. And what he did is he moved up. He moved up a weight class so that he could fight Islam Makhachev. And so they took that into consideration. I don't think that shouldn't have happened because honestly, when Canelo fought Bivol, that dropped him a lot. You know what I mean? That dropped him a lot in the pound for pound list. So I don't understand how this works, but they're saying that Alex risked a lot because he had a 12-fight win streak and he moved up to fight the bigger man. So that was their excuse to, give their reasoning behind keeping Volk in number one spot underneath above Islam, even after he lost. So with that being said, man, that is all of these topics. I'm sorry I had to jumble them all up together. Last night I came home from work and I started taking down my notes, really figuring out what I wanted to talk about. Last one. Jay Crowder did go to the Bucks, who is a very solid pickup. He hasn't played in 2 years, I think, but hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I want the Denver Nuggets to win, so it is what it is. Let me know how you feel in the comment section about everything that we discussed today: the Super Bowl, the trades, Tank versus Ryan, and the UFC world. Let me know what's going on. If you do want to join one day, let me know in the comment section. I will send you a Discord link, and you could join the Discord, and we could talk about sports one day together. But again, this is GQ's Point of View podcast episode 3. This is the Wednesday weigh-ins edition, where I will be weighing in on all the hot topics that happen, in the sports world. If you stop by, I want to say I appreciate you. I'm on my way to work, so I'm trying to, kind of close it out very smoothly. But if you stop by, I appreciate you. Make sure you show your support. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you're new. And really, really share this, man. I jumbled up a lot of information into this, so really share this. I came home from work last night, and I was gonna do it last night, but my energy was low, and I'm starting to go back and listen to my podcast, and I hate when my energy is low and I sound monotone. I really don't enjoy it. I feel like it's boring, so I'm trying to come and bring you guys more energy. You know what I mean? This is not easy, staying consistent on all this. So any support that you do show, any love that you do spread, man, it is very, very appreciated, and it will go a long way. So thank you for all of your support. Thank you for the love. And until next time, again, this is the GQ's Point of View podcast, episode 3, the Wednesday weigh-ins edition. Every Wednesday, I will be weighing in on all of the hot topics that's going on in the sports world. So until next time, man, take care of yourself. Drink some water, get some exercise, get some sun, and take care of your peace of mind, you dig? Peace.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?